Have a happy New Year. As the bells ring out, everyone will shout, Happy New Year. Have a happy
No!
Hello, I'm Judah.
And Zion.
And we are the Amateur Film Critics. And
Happy New Year!
I did not know he was going to bring out that doll. Where did you get that?
Year. Look, everyone, it's Baby New Year.
Did you steal one of your sister's American Girl dolls?
I didn't steal it. It was in the basement, and so I just used it. Look, everyone, it's Baby New Year.
Oh, my.
It's,
All right. Hi, Patches.
Cameo. Wait, go on here. Okay, here's our cameo.
Hi, Patches.
Welcome. Anyway.
Okay. So,
ready for...
if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail and title, today we do have a strange one for you. This is our New Year celebration special thingy
that we are filming before Christmas. Actually,
yeah.
So
yeah, we're filming this way before. It's nowhere. It's not New Year. It's not really New Year time yet. In fact, my Christmas tree is still right beside me. But we have today we watched Rudolph's Shiny New Year. And
yes.
If you haven't heard of that's sort of Rankin Bass's Rudolph sequel.
Yeah, it's the official one actually made by them.
Yeah.
I believe they only made 3 Rudolph's films. Only 3 Rudolph's films were actually made by Rankin Bass themselves, which was the original one, this one, and then Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July.
Oh,
that's basically.
Well, moving on from Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, today we're talking about Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Yes.
Which I gotta say, I have a lot to say about this sign, but we are going to switch up our regular sort of order of events, and we're going to actually give a pretty detailed explanation of the plot instead of just reading a plot summary.
We're going back to our older ways of reviewing.
Just for this special, though.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because we realize probably not a lot of you have seen this one, and so we're gonna tell you how the script, how this movie went.
Let's get into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to start us off, the little narrator, who I believe is Father Time, which we'll meet later, says
Time.
There's a little song in there like, but do you recall the most greatest reindeer of all? They mess up, but they said, but do you know that Rudolph saved everything again?
Rudolph saved everything.
And this is where we get into the movie, and Santa tasks Rudolph with going to find the lost baby New Year, which I immediately had problems with this, because I'm like, is Rudolph the best person? He doesn't have fingers or thumbs. He can't really pick up anything.
Well, out of the people really in that world, like Father Time probably called on Santa, and Santa had to pick someone from that was in the original special. You know, he's not gonna call on the giant. He's not gonna make like Humble, the Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, he's not gonna make him do it. But like, honestly, Christmas is over. Santa could go do it himself. Yet We're sending Rudolph. And as from there we see Rudolph crossing a desert to go meet Father Time because he needs more information about why Baby New Year is lost and all that. And here we meet 3 characters. The first 2, one is a soldier, which I could not remember his name, was like a clock, and one is a camel who helps them cross the desert named Court.
Are these people
we never meet them again.
Saw waves to Father Time, or why is there a clock on these people?
I don't know. They're like time related entities in this unit in like the area of Father Time. It's super strange, I must say.
Save them! I will become queen and I get to rule over them.
Oh my side. I was really not expecting the doll to make an appearance. Oh. We also meet Eon. Now Eon's a little bit more of an important character. He's this vulture that lives an eon long, which I'm not exactly sure how long an eon is, but we know that after this year he will turn completely into ice and just like melt or whatever.
Yeah, because basically he lives for 100 years, and he's trying to basically stop the New Year's from happening because he does not want to.
Yes, so he wants to stop the New Year's from happening, and so he's going to get happy before they find him. But Rudolph does make it across the desert, even after a quick chase scene. And he meets up with Father Time, and at this point, the soldier and Court, the camel, disappear, and we never see them again, by the way. But Father Time gives us different...
We do kind of meet them again, and in a flashback, Father Time tells us to Rudolph.
Yeah.
It did make an appearance.
Yeah. But we get 3 different plot expositions. The first one, Father Time tells how every New Year, Father Time will pass the crown on to Baby New Year, and Baby New Year basically becomes the new Father Time, and his whole life is spent in a year. Like, he grows up to like this old man by the end of the year.
That is correct.
Yes, which is very strange in my opinion, especially because when I was watching this, I was thinking, so he's just gonna die after the New Year? I was wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know how that worked. I was confused about this logic.
And then we're introduced to the new Baby New Year through a flashback, and we find out his name is Happy, and that he ran away because he has big ears and people kept laughing at them.
I have a couple of questions. How is the New Year baby like born to begin with?
I was wondering the same thing. So like, is Father Time his father? Because Father Time could be his father, but I want to know like, who's the mother?
Well, there's only one woman in the castle who takes care of him.
Yeah, and that was the maid, like the nanny. So...
We aren't gonna talk anymore.
Yeah, it's strange. You have to suspend disbelief for this film. But yeah. And then finally, our third plot exposition is Father Time explains that that Father Time's year is that whenever the New Year happens, the old Father Time from the past year retires to an island that's basically frozen in the year he served. And these islands make
I
up
don't
an
really
archipelago.
understand that. I also have some confused with, because first off, so are there multiple versions of me just on a Pacific island?
Yeah, it's weird because each Baby New Year is like distinctly different. And I guess they're supposed to maybe there's supposed to be like an amalgamation of the year in a way, like that's their defining characteristics. I mean, you see that a little bit with each of the different cast members, but at
Yeah,
that point,
wouldn't that mainly be like a specific like decade and not a year though? Because
well,
they
the Father Time only serves for 1 year, and while they don't show us the thousands and millions of years all on the on the maps, there are like they're supposed to represent only one singular year. It's
once
not
a
supposed to be for
year
a decade, which is strange.
is weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's basically they're each the Spotify Wrapped of of the time. But yes, and we also find out that Happy apparently ran off to this archipelago
As everyone
because
keeps
he always wanted to visit
laughing
it.
at him because of his ears, which Rudolph tries to explain to him they weren't being mean, but I also, I mean, it's
Yeah,
not really that funny in the first place. I don't know why.
yeah, and we're gonna have to talk more about that for sure, especially when we get to the what is technically the climax of the movie. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of problems there. Uh, Rudolph then heads to the archipelagos and he meets a whale with a clock in its tail whose name is Big Ben.
Yeah.
And Big Ben sort of is his chauffeur around because Eon did attack him, but that does not matter really. Uh, Rudolph then ends up at the island of 1 million
You broke.
BC,
Oh.
which has dinosaurs and all sorts of stuff. Big Ben then takes Rudolph to the island of 1 million BC, where there's dinosaurs and all this stuff, and we meet a caveman whose name is OM, which stands for 1 million, because that's the father
Yes.
time from this time period, I guess.
And they sing a Pacific song while they're on this island,
do.
which probably is the best song in the film, which isn't saying a whole lot.
Yeah, it isn't saying a whole lot. I cannot even tell you how this song sounded like. I cannot really remember any of the songs from this film.
Sunshine, ha, na, na, ha, ha. It's raining sunshine. They basically just say that. But if that's the best song in your movie, then you probably need to write better songs.
Yeah, there were none of the music in this movie was memorable or really even good.
Really stood out. Yeah, that's the only song from this thing I remember the words to. So
yeah, so we're not really going to talk about any of the other music other than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because
they kind of declined with the songs from the first Rudolph to this movie because
absolutely. So Owen reveals that they laughed at Happy's ears, and Happy ran away apparently, which is going to be an ongoing theme. If you thought that the whole laughing at his ears was going to be a one-time plot point, it's not, y'all. So OM comes and helps Rudolph look for Happy, right? And they go to the island of 1023. Which here we meet a knight named Sir 1023.
No, but the thing that tells about this island or year specifically is this is specifically the year in which every famous fairy tale was written, which that doesn't make any sense at all.
I feel like they were definitely split up over multiple years. But yes, there's every famous fairy tale that ever happened in this year.
Yeah, that's where my problems with the whole every island has their own year things. Because it feels like they're trying to mention a specific decade, but call it a year, but they add the in there that would be a specific decade, and then that's. Oh wait, And before they come to this island, they're on Big Ben, and they're explaining that they had just of all the different islands that they went to after the dinosaur island, trying to look for Happy the baby new year. And my favorite one is they say that they went to the 1960s, but everything was just too loud or too weird. And they also say one where, believe it's they mentioned that they went to the Egyptians, but they were too busy focusing on their pyramids.
Yeah.
Which makes them look like jerks, but
it does. And it also brings up a good point, is that why do we only focus on certain countries each year?
I know.
Like, yeah, you're gonna see that way more with our third island. But for right now, Happy on the island of 1023 goes through the story of Goldilocks. Basically, he goes through and everything's too hot or too cold, and he finds the just right thing. And then he falls asleep in the just right bed, and when the bears get home, they adopt Happy.
They adopt him.
With very few questions asked, but he takes off his hat, and they laugh at his ears.
Well, no, the baby bear makes him take off his hat and then laughs at him.
Yes, the baby bear forces Happy to take his hat off and laugh at his ears. Which, I gotta say, Happy's really gotta get over this ears thing. But the ears are like, they're big ears. Don't get me wrong, but Zion, you're totally right. These ears are not that funny, and we are supposed to believe that they're the most hilarious thing in the entire world. That not a single person can set their eyes on these. Even Rudolph, knowing all the things that Happy's been through, laughs at his ears in the end. Like, it is so like, wow. But Happy runs off, and Eon picks him up, but Happy falls off Eon, and surprisingly doesn't break his neck when he hits the ground. But he does end up on the island of 1776. And from there, Rudolph, OM, and Sir 1023 follow close behind.
Sir 1023, the way he talks, I just got very quickly. Every line of dialogue is just him shouting out the top of his lungs.
Yeah, it's
annoying.
Super annoying. It's absolutely. But they get to the island of 1776, and before they can get to Happy, oh no, the American flag is coming down the street because it's Independence Day every day here. Every day. And so he has to take his hat off, and the entire crowd at the parade laughs at him.
Well, how he gets to that island in the first place is basically is it a bird? Is it?
Yeah, Eon picks him up, but he actually falls off Eon, I guess.
Well, I thought Big Ben blashed Eon, and then.
Oh yes, that was right. He didn't just fall off. Eon splashed him off of. Big Ben splashed him.
Which they try to then catch him, but he falls onto the island and onto Benjamin Franklin's kite that he's flying.
Yes. Yeah, so, and that brings us to the next thing, because after Happy runs away, Rudolph and the gang get introduced to this.
Also, have a question about basically the American island that they go to. Now, did they change what they were celebrating if they showed this in other countries?
No, probably not. I mean, I think the
It's a
problem
weird
was,
thing to do.
here's the deal. I think the problem with this is it's so old that there wasn't really any broadcasting television in the other countries other than probably like Britain and some more developed countries. But this was probably only aired in America.
Oh, okay.
And I think this was made by Americans for Americans, if you know what I'm saying, right? Like, so yeah, I don't think they changed what they're celebrating. I mean, like, what else happens in 1776? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the year. That's the year that America was founded and all that.
right.
So, we meet Sev, who is Benjamin Franklin lookalike, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's the father time of 1776. And he says, well, we didn't mean to be cruel. They were just so funny, the ears were. And I was like, it doesn't make it, that doesn't make it not cruel. Like, it's still mean to laugh at this little kid's ears, especially as aggressively as the entire crowd did, it feels like. But he's going to now come and help them find Happy. And then from there, Happy again gets picked up by Eon, and Eon says that he'll be Happy's friend. So Eon takes Happy all the way back to his nest.
Yep.
Rudolph and the gang follow him to the nest, right? And when they get there, Eon causes an avalanche, and all four of them get like
frozen.
Yeah, they get encased in giant snowballs.
That we go for frozen. Elsa entraps them.
It took me a minute to realize you were referencing Frozen. But yes, they get trapped in snowballs, and this is something I have a problem with. Rudolph melts the snow by making his nose glow. I never knew that Rudolph's nose generated heat with the light.
Well, yeah, they explain Rudolph's nose more in Rudolph and Frosty's Shiny New.
They do.
Yeah. They explain the origins of his nose and why he has.
You're kidding me.
It is oh my gosh, that movie is. They try to explain the origins and how all the specials like tie together, and it's weird, but
oh my gosh, I did not realize they try to explain how his nose works. That's hilarious. Yeah, but Rudolph's nose apparently generates heat now, and so he melts through the snow, and he sneaks up to Happy while Eon is sleeping, and Eon will spoiler alert, Eon will eventually wake up, but there's a lot that happens before Eon wakes up. They sing an entire song before Eon wakes up.
Well, yeah, they sang a song about. They basically sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed.
Yeah. Yeah, Rudolph appeals to Happy by telling him how everyone made fun of his nose until it was useful. And then the wind in the trees, because Rudolph is too modest, the wind in the trees sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the song, and there's a little animation.
Yeah, it's weird. Why
it's
are the
strange.
trees now singing songs? I mean,
yeah, exactly. What are the wind in the trees singing? But they do. They sing us a nice little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and what is easily the best song in the entire movie, and it's not even an original song to this movie. But after Happy is now all feeling better about his ears, and is less self-conscious, I guess, Happy makes a loud noise, and Eon wakes up.
Eon wakes up, and then they have him take off his hat to make Eon laugh, which Eon has never laughed before, but this not only makes him laugh,
Yeah,
and
I
so
mean,
he
it doesn't just make him laugh. It makes him cackle so hard he falls down a mountain.
yeah,
He he falls down the mountain. He runs into the snowballs that the other three Father Times were trapped in, and breaks them open. And then he continues to cackle while lying there on the ground.
I never realized that the other people were the Father Times of their.
You didn't realize that? No, yeah, they're the Father Times of
I
each
thought
of those
those
islands.
were just random people that he
Yeah.
met.
Well, geez, that would make the movie seem a lot more weirder than it did. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you'd have to. I imagine you're just sitting there, like, what the heck is going on at this point? um, but yeah, so Rudolph and Happy head back down the mountain, and there's a very quick plot explanation that because Eon has like never laughed before, and he laughed so hard at Happy's ears that it warmed up his insides, and there's no possible way that this new year he'll now turn into ice. So apparently Eon lives. We don't see him not turn. We don't see him turn into ice, and we don't see him not turn into ice. Like, we don't see him at the time of New Year, but it's just assumed that he lives through this because now he's good.
He lives, and then Santa comes, and basically takes. But by the way, here's another strange thing: the baby New Year has to be in a specific place for it to turn New Year. I didn't really understand that. Why would
so I guess in order for the New Year to like change over or whatever, they have to physically
take the crown
Father
off.
Time. It's described as a passing of the crown, but it's like that was apparently a metaphor. Like if you listen to the words of the song, that's just a metaphor, right? So this is whatever happens. Father Time does something to Baby New Year to pass on his power over the year. And that's how the New Year happens. And they have to be there right at the time it happens, or else we'll forever be frozen in December 31st.
Right.
So when they're still at the nest, and Big Ben's clock on his tail starts striking 12, they're like, it's too late. But guess what? Santa shows up.
Yeah.
And travels faster than the speed of light, apparently. Because he gets them all back. He gets them all loaded up into the sleigh, and he gets them all the way back to Father Time's castle before the 12th strike on the clock. And that's the end. There's this nice little Happy New Year song.
One of the details on Father Time's castle is this billboard that they have, which basically basically tells you all the important stuff that's happening at that moment. It just knows all this.
Yeah, it says some really random crud too. I wish I would have written down what it said, because I remember seeing stuff and being like, what the heck is that talking about? But yeah, it tells you all the important moments going on in real time. And yeah, there was a very random crowd that showed up for the celebration of the New Year. Don't know where they came from.
Did those people also have to pass through the sands of time?
Maybe. I'm not even sure.
How did they come from?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they got there. They just showed up. I might be remembering wrong, but two of them to me looked like the parents from A Year Without a Santa Claus. I don't know if you saw that too.
I saw that, and the only problem I have with A Year Without a Santa Claus is that movie very heavily shows you like on all the posters that the I'm Mr. No. Or that the Miser brothers are
Yeah,
gonna be featured for a very long time in that film, which
they're not
they
in
only
it
have
a lot. I
like
think
two
the problem with the Miser brothers, I think the Miser brothers just got so famous, like they were such iconic characters, I guess, that they in now present day like advertising, or not even present day, but like in post premiere of it advertising of that special always features them because they're one of the most iconic parts of that movie in a way.
Yeah, well, I would say that they're the only iconic parts of that film because it
Oh,
really got boring at times.
yeah, that one is honestly a bit slower, but you gotta watch what you say about that because that's my dad's favorite Christmas special. Like,
That's its favorite. Why?
he loves that one, Zion. He loves it.
My
Oh,
favorite Christmas special that Rankin Bass ever did. Well, I just have two of them. One, I really like Santa Claus is Coming to Town,
okay,
and
yeah.
and then I also discovered one that is not too long.
Yeah.
It's basically one where they mix Christmas and St. Patrick's Day. So it's about
Wait, what?
so it takes place on an like a Ireland that has been separated from Ireland. It's
Yeah, I get. Okay,
I don't remember the name of it. Shoot, what's the?
we'll have to find a poster and you can pop it up right
I'll,
now.
I'll find a poster, but that one is there is a green shot in that one, in which I love it so much. I will it to you. No, I'll show the special to you sometime, but
Okay,
maybe
absolutely.
over on Christmas Day or something. But
Yeah, but so now I think it's time we talk about our final thoughts and ratings. Um, Overall, how do you feel about this not even
I
Christmas special?
mean,
How do you feel about the special?
it's not the worst one they ever did.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely worser ones, but it's not. It's it's like in the middle. It is not the worst one, but it's not the best one either. You know?
I would kind of say that. I mean, if you can get over the numerous plot holes, which you really should to enjoy any of these Rankin Bass specials,
That's
like it is pretty. I would say it's pretty mediocre. I would agree with you on
yeah,
that.
it's mediocre.
Um, I did. It is kind of nice to see that they sort of, emphasis on sort of, learned from their errors with Rudolph in making sure that the main theme of it wasn't deviations from the norm will be punished until it's useful to everyone else or whatever. They didn't do that whole thing where like his ears were super useful, other than I guess making Eon laugh. But like they accepted him from the beginning, which was nice. Uh,
I
but
just remembered how I first saw this special. I actually saw this on TV around New Year's Day that were playing it. And the special that they played either before it or afterwards, we it's also on the same DVD that I
that you
watched
got,
on. Yeah, I would really recommend that DVD if I could remember the name of it.
yeah,
But
put another picture on the screen.
I'll put a picture on screen. But it aired with Rankin Bass made a Christmas special, but with the characters from Pinocchio. in it, but it's not the Disney Pinocchio,
It's the
though.
fairy tale or whatever, like the actual book
Yeah,
interpretation,
it's
I
based
guess.
off of the book, but this came out after Pinocchio had came out.
Yeah, so it's strange. I think I have seen pictures of that before.
Yeah,
it-
that one. I don't remember, but they basically focus on the parts of Pinocchio that no one really cares about. So, or I think they make things up in this one about Pinocchio's like journey.
Oh, they just completely were like, "Hey, we're rewriting this story."
Yeah. I think they make things up in this one, but
Okay. Well, y'all should go watch Pinocchio now. Not the Disney version though.
not the Disney version,
The Rankin Bass version.
the Rankin Bass version, and also watch the Ireland Christmas one. That's also good.
The Ireland Christmas one. Okay, yes. So you have 2 recommendations now, but I think we need to find out if this should be recommended. If Rudolph Shiny New Year should be recommended.
We never ranked this.
Yeah, we have to rate it. So what are you feeling, Zion?
Maybe like a, I don't know, a 2.5.
I think I'm gonna go with a 2. Okay,
Yeah.
so mine will be 2. I don't know, Shiny New Year ball. Out of 5. Yours can be whatever you want it to be.
Mine is 2.5 Baby New Year's. You forgot about this.
Okay. So,
all right,
if you average our scores and give it a total, it's a 2.25, which means it's not really recommended, but it is somewhat of a classic-ish.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of. There are probably a lot of people out there that do have fond, nostalgic memories of this. So maybe you should go check it out for that reason.
Just like there are people who have fond memories of Lester the Christmas donkey. No,
I do not have fond Christmas memories of Nestor the Christmas donkey. I think my parents might.
Our parents do, which
yes.
But anyway, back to our New Year's Eve special. So
yes, have a happy New Year.
We
hope 2023 is a good year. Finally, I mean, 2021 wasn't awful. It's definitely better than 2020, for being honest. We finally got a lot of the Marvel shows. Really, in my opinion, made 2021 better. Did I say 2023? We're going into 2022, not 2023.
Yeah. All the Marvel shows except for Falcon and the Winter Soldier were really good.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier still wasn't even it wasn't bad at all. It was still somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
Gotta give it
all right.
Yeah.
Goodbye, y'all. Let's not turn this into a Marvel rating.
Yeah, let's not turn this. This is not a Marvel episode.
Not a Marvel.
Have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year. As the bells ring out, everyone will shout, Happy New Year. Have a happy, may each day be filled with good cheer. And with nothing less than much happiness all through